Hello, my name is He Who Is in the Water. Going to be drafting some Invasion, Planeshift, and Apocalypse today with this week's Flashback on Magic Online. I love this format, just genuinely one of my all-time favorites. Probably my singular all-time favorite. Temporal Distortion is cool, but not particularly useful. Benevolent Heralds is a pretty powerful activated ability, reasonable size body. Probe and Repulse are just fantastic. I love probing people. It just doesn't get old. And it's just slightly, I don't know, it feels more likely that I end up blue-black than end up blue-white. Yeah, we'll just take the probe. So, let's see. We got Marauding Knight. It's not a terrible card. Lobotomy is also not bad. Frenzied Tilling is pretty great. I like Dismantling Blow, but it might just be from playing Pauper so much that I enjoy it. Game just goes so long that I think there's going to be a lot of space where a lot of Lobotomy ends up being quite poor for us. Okay, this is a much better pack. Tiger Eye Cameo is great. Land is great. Riptide Crab is these are all just great uncommons. And we have two apprentices here. My choices so far have left me rather open on what I want to do. It's a shame that the mana rock is not particular for either color combo that I've staked out, but I think it's probably the best. Yeah, I think so. Androdite Leech is not really where we want to be. It's not bad, but it's just okay. Sterling Grove isn't really what you want to be doing. It is looking like Naya is a rather open place to be, which is also just kind of the inevitable problem of Invasion, Planeshift, Apocalypse, is that the blue-black cards get fought heavily over. So it's kind of like Vintage Cube in that way. If you just say, hey, I'm not going to play blue, you get to have much more of your pick of the litter. I think I'm just going to take another Frenzied Tilling. It's a little bit more restrictive than the Trailblazer, but it's also more interactive. And okay, Charging Troll here is a pretty good indicator that Naya's the place we want to be. Wayfaring Giant is also pretty good. But I think the Regenerate is just a little bit more relevant. 3-power Regenerator is just not something a lot of people are equipped to deal with. And I don't know if I want to be going full 5-color, and if I'm just 3-color, then the 4/6 Giant is not immensely better than having Regenerate here. this card size up a little bit. Stand to reason, or stand to deliver. Damage prevention is pretty cool, but so is just like a flyer. Nomadic Elf is a pretty fine pickup here. I'm like quite a bit lower on the sack lands for limited, but yeah, I'm okay just to take a first striker. Okay. So if we're looking at Naya here, Firebrand Ranger and Thunderscape Apprentice are like the most likely cards. Obsidian Acolyte is, you know, sideboard. They're fine in the sideboard, but I think I'll just take the Apprentice here and try to make combat work. Okay, Collective Restraint is a pretty good card, I thought. Especially here where, like, I think we can be basically Omnath colors. We could just play Probe as Catalog, but if we're Omnath, then yeah, this is. I mean, Yavimaya Barbarian's a fine card here too, but so is Explosive Growth, but this is pretty powerful. Things coming back on the wheel. I tend to, if I recall correctly, I was not a huge fan of Pledge of Loyalty, but I think it's a more powerful card to take here than like the Viashino Grappler, so I'm gonna take it. You know, if we are doing a little bit of everything, this Kavu Scout does get pretty good. So I'll take it. Thornscape Apprentice is really good. So this is good. We also have like I'm not playing these cards. Alright, so if we're Omnath, that also like sets us up pretty good to like open up some Quicksilver Daggers in pack 3. Which would be nice, but we just got some good flexibility here. Let's see what else we got here. Questing Feldegriff. Largely just a 4/4 that's hard to cast. Rith's Charm is like super okay, but what's not super okay is Thornscape Battlemage. This one is really good. I like this a lot. Just 2/2 that shock, like 4 mana 2/2 that shocks is great. And then once you like, I'm pretty sure we can like maybe wield this Steel Leaf Paladin. That would just be great. And Query Explorer or Mog Jailer are also fine cards to wheel here. So yeah, just Battle Mage is awesome. There's another one. Shivan Worm is like pretty big. So could be slightly better. Nah, I'm just taking. I'm taking the Flame Tongue Kavu, the baby Flame Tongue Kavu here. Got to get our value, not just be a giant fatty. A lot of maggot carriers. So I think, I think I want Query and Explorer or Star Compass here. Because this just has a lot of junk that I probably won't wheel anything I want out of it. Though I do really want the Steel Leaf Paladin. But like 2-drop acceleration is just pretty powerful. I should take the Query and Explorer. Like I mentioned before, a good chance of being blue-red going into pack 3, and then just like having mana dorks or things like that with your Quicksilver Dagger, I think is just probably a better place to be. Rith's Grove is an excellent pickup here. Amphibious Kavu and Gerard's Command are certainly playable in this deck that we're building. Meyer Kavu is really good as well, but not for us. Lord of the Undead. I don't think I've ever played with Lord of the Undead in this format, honestly. It's probably pretty okay. But yeah, just gonna take the good fixing that we need. I'll take the Rith's Charm here. It's not incredible, but it looks pretty okay. Feeling less like we need this probe. I do kind of want this splash on the Collective Restraint. The Meddling Mage is pretty difficult to cast. Might just take a Stone Kavu here. The Rashad Import-ish Kavus, I'm always like a little skeptical of. I don't think we need to take it. It's just early in the pack, but I think the format's just too big for Meddling Mage to be quite where I want to be here, especially on a splash where I'm just like base Naya touching blue for a little. So let's just take that. Draco though. Oh. Draco is a lot, but we can realistically reduce his cost by 8, and then he's just an 8/8 for 8. I think I'll take Samite Pilgrim instead, but with more time I could have maybe had to come to a different decision there. Aurora Griffin just seems pretty fine here. I'm not 100% on playing it, but it's just good. Another Rith's Charm is just fine. Looks like a 3/3 for 3 is going to be okay. We're not... like Stone Kavu is going to be sneakily good in this deck because we are just kind of like doing a pretty good job of clogging up the board with this deck so far. But so Stone Kavu being like our way to go tall is going to be, I think, more important than it might appear at first. Yeah, none of the Steel Leaf Paladins coming back is a little scary. Maybe I misjudged the table on that one. I'm just not playing any of these black cards, am I? Guess I'll take this Meyer Kavu. Guess I'll take this Pollen Remedy. I don't think think there's a world I play Multani's Harmony, but Falling Timber's not that bad. So I like where our deck is at, and I think we're in like reasonable position to keep going with it. Our top end, despite our curve being pretty high, our top end is like perhaps not quite where I would like it. Planar Despair, I don't know if we can be the Planar Despair deck. We're a little late for that, I think. We might not be so late for diversionary tactics, though. We've got these 2 Rith's Charms. Manacles of Decay is pretty nice here, though. I'm kind of okay to take this one. Bad opposition is still like opposition. Mask of Intolerance, I forget what this one does offhand, aside from have great art. Yeah, well, that's going to be hurt me. And Blazing Golem is bugged, if I recall. Rocket Disciple is pretty nice. Manacles of Decay is also useful. But I think I like this more, just the damage prevention and then like starting to push through things with flyers. This is one of the better ones to me. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna take the Wrath creature. Like, yeah. Jilt would be pretty nice here too, but I'm just gonna take this. It's kind of the bomb we were looking for. I've had good Squeeze Embrace decks in the past, but I don't think this is one of them. Coalition Honor Guard just seems like it would be nice and annoying here. Oh, that's an Elf Wizard. Might be on 0 soldiers here, so probably, or no, that's a Flag Bearer. Yeah. So Enlistment Officer, probably not what we're doing here. I've murdered people with Dodecapod before. Kavu Glider's not the worst card. I think I just take this, or I should probably just take Sand Bear. Yeah, that's better. There's a lot of blue cards, and we're not really that blue. Dega Disciple is like kind of nice at like making our pile of 1/1s into better creatures, but not massively so. I don't know. This Shivan Reef is just pretty nice. You know, dealing damage to yourself is like somewhat costly, but I think it's still worth picking up here. I think I will dock this living airship though. I think Gleidnar is okay. 6 mana 4/4 is just playable to a certain extent. Sideboarding the Shield of Duty and Reason I think is acceptable. Angel Fire Crusader has been okay on occasion, but I don't believe that's quite where we're at, so maybe just another Gleidnar. I guess I'll take the Landslide if I really want to go LD on somebody. Squeeze Embraces. Just a fine card sometimes. How do I feel so far? I feel okay. We've got some like pretty good ways to like clog up the ground, and like some flyers. And Rocket Disciple is like going to be okay. This Kapu Glider might make the deck. Wagner will not make the deck. Got 2 cuts I want to make. I want to try to play 18 lands. Kabu Scout is going to be like a 4/2, which I feel like is pretty acceptable rate. I do have Quarian Explorer and 2 Frenzy Tilling. Maybe I am just okay with 17 lands. Yeah, I think I might be okay with 17 lands. Thunderscape Apprentice probably we don't need. The only like black source we'll have is maybe Quarian Explorer sometimes. And our deck is so full of 1/1s that the pump is not going to be massively relevant here. I think I'm okay doing that. This Pledge of Loyalty could be... Ooh, whoa, yeah, that's the wrong one. Whoa, that was almost very bad. Yeah, I think I'm pretty on board for this. 1 island is exactly what I was gonna think because we have the 2 Tillings to tutor it up. And so that's 5 blue sources, if I'm counting Quarian Explorer as a blue source. 4 if I'm not, so that's pretty acceptable for the 1 Collective Restraint. Other than that, red is slightly unfavored, but also the Shivan Reef means that this just evens out to be like a perfect 6/6/6 mana base. And I think that's somewhat reflective of our deck. So, yeah. If my opponent casts a Razorfin Hunter, we're in a lot of trouble, though. We're in a lot of trouble to Razorfin Hunter. Actually, yeah, that was... Look at you, Magic Online. Thank you for giving me a good... suggestion right off the bat. Okay, just gonna keep that deck list there in the snipping tool, so we got a little bit to reference later. We're trying to do a better habit of that, and yeah, I think we're ready to roll. Let's get into it. Okay, round number 1 versus Hax Druid. And I would like to be on the draw. This hand's okay. Cast most of our spells. Shivan Reef is going to be moderately painful, but hopefully we don't need to be too quick about it. And we can just use it for colorless mana. Cameo's a nice draw too. And we're doing pretty good. We've got nice ways to use our mana on these early turns. So hopefully we don't get too run over, although their draw is looking pretty nice too. Triple Forest is good for us though. Okay. That gets stonewalled by the Apprentice. Very nice. Get our ramp on. We even get to use our mana immediately. And tap the Bobcat. We do get to like take one if they want to get in there with the elves now, but I think that's just okay. I think I am just going to Frenzied Tilling here, eat their plains, get my island, because that lets me go next turn, have Collective Restraint plus the tap. I guess I had that this turn anyway, but we're going to take a hit for 5 here, but then things are really going to slow down for him. Or 6, I guess. Thornscape plus Collective Restraint is not quite a full combo, but do I want to play Standard Bearers plus tap or Kavu? Either Kavu. I think I just want a Standard Bearer. Because then this I think probably just sets me up the most to just have the best control over this board. So I tap down the Stone Kavu and maybe I should have done this first. Yeah, that would have been better to do this first, because then I could know if I want to tap out for Collective Restraint. I still probably do, but it's slightly better. Because if they were like able to interact with the Thornscape Apprentice, I guess they only have white and green mana available. I don't know. That's probably overthinking it. But yes, we're going to take 2 from the Bobcat. Alright, we're just going to take no damage. They don't actually have to kill the standard bearer here because Flame Tongue Cub was a triggered ability. So we can get this up to 5 toughness, which is just going to straight up block anything that they do. This is among the most fun I've ever had with a Kavu glider. I'm not missing anything here, right? If they have a trick, they have a trick, of course, but... Sure. That was going to get me at some point here down the road. Okay. They only have 3 mana here, so no attacks are happening. Am I confident enough to start getting it in the air? I think so. Collective Restraint doing a tremendous amount of work this game. I mean, they're only attacking with one thing anyway, so I can either like make him be the Kavu or the... I can be FTK or Stone Kavu. With no attacks, I think I'm just okay to make some saplings. No attacks is odd to me. Actually, in retrospect with the saplings, I should just be tapping down the Stone Kavu because that's going to be more difficult to block. Okay. That makes sense why there was no attack, but not a trick I was interested in playing around in. So now we're just going to go back to, yeah, we can tap down the Stone Kavu if they want to attack with like Penumbra Kavu and trade it off for a Sapperling. I think I'm okay with that. Or I might be okay making that trade. 2 Sapperling tokens for that soldier. Yeah, this still leaves up white, white, red, blue, which I think is just the combination of colors I could possibly need here. I need to up my pace of play a little bit, because we are behind on clock. Probably going to get a mountain here. Nope, okay. Can tap that one. If they attack with the Ardent Soldier, I just eat it because I put Coalition Honor Guard and Sapperling token, prevent damage to the Sapperling token, and it's mine. I believe a similar thing is going to happen here. I think I'm just going to eat this. Because they can't. I mean, I suppose they can put all the. Or no, yeah, I'm not eating this. I'm just trading a Sapperling token for their 4-drop, which is, I think, a place I want to be. It's the high toughness of the Stone Kavu that I think is just a little difficult for us to stop at this time. I feel like the board isn't well enough in hand that we just don't need to do that. Maybe we can wait a couple of turns. It's unfortunate that like they do get a Bobcat out of that, so it's not like we even just wipe the board. We just like have a 3-3 versus their 2-1, which is not really different than what we got going on here. Now, do I want to play another 1-1 to this board? I don't think I do. Maybe tips the hand on the Wrath a little bit, but feeling good about picking up Collective Restraint when I did, because it's always like when you see a rare go that late, you're kind of like, am I misevaluating this card? Am I not understanding what's why it's being passed so late? But this game, I feel, is already a good demonstration that like it was a good pickup. I have built a reasonable Collective Restraint deck, and that's nice. Yeah, so I'm not like too afraid here, because I'm gonna block, and prevent damage. But if they have a combat trick, it has to target the Coalition Honor Guard. So like maybe it's like remove like an attacking or blocking creature, but I don't think there were spells templated at this time in that way. Like they can't pump the Ardent Soldier here. I don't believe there are effects that say creatures you control. I think you just like wait, what am I talking about? I can't prevent this damage. And maybe I can if they misassign it or something, but they did misassign damage. Excellent. Okay. I'm definitely going to play the flyer here, though, because that is just going to let me slowly chip in damage here. Yeah, if you want to attack there, you can. Rampant Elephant is a bit awkward here, but I just have to be sure to like tap both of my apprentices before getting to the blocker step. Okay, we don't even need to really do that. Excellent. Another 4-power flyer is just what we need. Or 4-mana flyer. There's a lot of variations on this 4-mana 2/2 flyer. What do we have here? That's pretty good. Unfortunately, cannot return the Flame Tongue Kavu, but just the first striker is just going to be pretty relevant on this board. So that's now going to become the thing that gets tapped down every turn. And with that in mind, I do wish to deploy this Quirion Explorer just to have additional material. Get it in the air, because I do have a 3-turn clock here. So I'm like pretty interested in implementing. Okay, that's good to know about. So they can kill the Collective Restraint next turn. Okay, but if they kill it, so they can attack with 2 things this turn, and then I have lethal in 2 turns in the air. Stone Kavu is really going to clog things up. And if they did anything too scary next turn, then I just Wrath. So like that's a pretty good place to be, I think. Okay, so they're pretty straightforward. Naya. They have some good cards, for sure. Pro green is not terrible, but they do have Flame Tunkavu, so like, I don't know. Pledge of Loyalty does seem like they just kind of can't beat. I mean, they did show the disenchant creature there, but like that looks like it was going to be pretty good versus them. Gladenar looked a little bit bad. I don't think that's quite how we're going to be winning the game, because especially since they're a Steel Leaf Paladin deck. Or I don't know if that's a card name, but like I think Steel Leaf Paladin might be the one from Dominaria that's green, 5/4, can't be blocked by creatures of power 2 or less, but Squeeze Embrace is just going to be nice if we're trading off a bunch in combat. Pledge of Loyalty, just giving pro everything is nice, because we're mostly a mirror. Yeah, I'm okay just doing 41. Again, our mana is just pretty good. We've got Mana Dork, Mana Rock, 2 Frenzy Tilling, so like it's just mostly okay. Hand is awkward, but like pretty fine. Opponent chooses to play and then mulligans? Okay. Important to lead on the plains here. Easy to get bamboozled on that because of other limited formats. And like it is, this is a slow hand, but not a ton of land drops. But you got the draw. Okay, you got a 1-power creature. Rocket Disciple is just going to be stemming the bleeding from early on here. It is awkward to draw 2 of our non-basics with Collective Restraint, but I'm sure things are going to be okay. It's like kind of tempting to just throw the Squeeze Embrace on here. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do it. My mana's a little bit awkward here. Tapping out for Kavu Glider doesn't feel great. I just want to... I know they have the Unicorn in play, but like... that's like most of their turn doing that. I don't really mind. Let me tell you, this creature was not attacking. It was not the game plan. And now that they've tapped out, I just get to... yeah, we didn't really see any artifacts from them. Like, they had some big creatures, but like this is just probably about as good as that shock's gonna get. Nice. board is stable, just deploy the Frenzied Tilling. Pick up our island for collective restraint. We are cruising. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Alright, I did a bad job tapping my mana, but this can salvage it. Still play the Standard Bearer first. Get in our charging throw. Are not holding regeneration up. Perhaps that's asking for trouble. But this is just gonna be filthy. Yeah. Yeah, regeneration. Yeah. It's kind of cute to just like slam the collective restraint and just be like, no, you lose, go home, you get nothing. Good day, sir, but I don't think we need to do that. We're very far ahead on board. And we can we can butt breathe Stone Kavu up to a 3/8. They don't even have 8 power in play, so like that attack is just fine as well. It doesn't tap us out of charging troll. Combat tricks, again, not particularly worrisome because of okay. Yeah, this is fine. I could play the Kavu Glider there, but I feel like that's a nice turn to just, slam the restraint on the table and say no. But that's just a good example of what happens in this format. Is I played a lot of permanents with complicated activated abilities, and my opponent played some cards that had rate, and the activated abilities were better than the rates. So that's cool. Nice grindy one for match 1. See you for round number 2. Okay, here we are from round number 2. I wish to be on the draw. This hand is quite nice. Opponent says it's IPA. How could you not have fun? I'll say it's very true. Love the format. And you know, it's got to be said. I love this format. I love drafting it when it comes up. It's just really fun. It's one of my favorite formats. I do not know why they keep doing it. I love this, but it is just very fair to say that the Magic community at large, the Magic Online community at large too, this is not what they like to do. Opponent is curving me out though on the play. Like I will chuck my Standard Bearer in front of this Duskwalker here. Like we're in okay-ish shape of like we get to go turn 3 cameo. Like if they go like 3-drop, 4-drop, we're just so dead now. But I can't afford to just like take 3 more damage from this Duskwalker, I don't think, because of that possibility. No plays, no plays. Like a Windrake here is just pretty rough. That's not the worst thing that could have happened to me. I just gotta play the cameo. I'm like pretty priced into casting the Stone Kavu. What we do from there is murders. Okay, great. Reef Shaman. That's a card we can beat. The way this draw has worked out, we're not really going to get ported too easily. But I do think we just play our fatty. It's quite likely they have a repulse or something here, which is part of why I'm like so nervous about this. Like it's not likely that this works out, but if it doesn't, like it is better to have played the Stone Kavu and have a more mana intensive card in play. If I keep my Stone Kavu, I will attempt to eat their island. It's not terribly important, but or yeah, I'm still kind of behind the 8. They're stuck on 3 lands though. Like it's just so good to. Who? This is yeah. Okay. We don't need this Wraith Charm. That's the worst card here. Now I'm like way more interested in Frenzy Tilling, and I might even just hold the land in my hand. Or oh no, they're fascinating. Okay. Alright, now Frenzy Tilling is just a really bad proposition. Going to play this in Ritz's Grove. Pick up a forest, I guess. So I can have a 4/4 or I can have a 3/5. It's probably just make it a 3/5 and block, so then the following turn I'm just like stonewalling this forever is probably the plan. And just have to be like pretty patient with my Frenzy Tilling here, but fine. Oh. Okay, I think I'm not doing anything, because if I play Frenzy Tilling, they just Reef Shaman on my upkeep, and then I'm like taking 4 damage from this Marsh Crocodile for no reason. So I think I don't even want to play my forest here, because if they have another discard effect, these are like pretty powerful cards I want to have access to. I think I'm just waiting. This is awkward. Drawing basic island would be insane. They would be able to like port me off of it and like... Oh. Alright, basic island, please. Alright, another forest I will play. Yeah, maybe if I had played the forest the previous turn, then I get to go back to... Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have held the forest for that one turn. Because if with this untapped land draw, I could have still been holding up a 3/5. That matters, but like, okay, so they have demonstrated that they know how to use Reef Shaman. Important to know that, because some people don't. But at that particular time, it didn't do anything. Also made it a Plains, which is like one of the two worst choices, because I just have an on the table activated ability that I can use with that, so it should be any of the other three. Forest, Island, or Swamp. It's also been nice that my opponent's like slightly behind on clock here, because it's been a somewhat difficult board state to parse and narrate, so I've had more time to think about that, which is good. Interesting that like usually a heuristic that you use in Magic to like when you're holding up activated abilities or mana is that you want to like leave your basic lands untapped because they're the hardest for your opponents to interact with. But like oddly enough on this board state, it's going to be important to leave Tiger Eye Cameo up because it cannot be touched by Reef Shaman on their turn. So I think I'm going to tap for Frenzy Tilling with Rith's Grove, 3 Forest, and 1 Plains. Provided I don't draw something that changes that. If they take me off red on my upkeep, I think I just don't do anything. It would be kind of hilarious if they just like randomly picked a color and were like, all right, we'll give you an island. And then they just give me collective restraint mana. That would be really funny and unfortunate for my opponent. But I think based on what I've done so far, there's no way to know if it would... Oh God. Oh, no. I mean, this is just like... It doesn't necessarily mean anything, because this is just a lot of damage, but... Because this is just 7 damage and puts me to 4, which is like... a fine thing to do. I think I'm still supposed to eat a 1/1 though. I don't believe I'm supposed to trade with the Putrid Warrior at this time. Like, obviously, the Stone Kabu on the Marsh Crocodile is like, you gotta do it. So it's like, it's reasonable to think that they don't have a trick as well here. Like, 7 damage could just be worth it to them to like lose their 2 best creatures. So, I don't think there has to be a specific trick that we try to play around. And, you know, this is the game that I talked about them going like 1, 2, 3 with their curve. So, like, it's okay if we lose this one. Their deck is cool. Okay. I've never really seen that used that way. All right. Show me island. Give me island. Come on. No. No. we're just taking 4 damage here. And we are at 4. So I believe we've just died. Alright. I also just like should have, whatever. I made decisions, or I don't think I made bad decisions, but they just attack with all we're dead. Yep. Right, because it's when this deals damage. Yeah, so we're just. Oh, I'm sorry, we're taking 5 there because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Well, that was unfortunate. They drew very few lands to make that happen. So, like an Esper aggressive strategy. I'm a little bit more interested in this living airship than the Gladenar. Maybe the Gladenar just shouldn't be in the deck at all. Now, I know I took a ton of damage there from being on the draw, but I'm going to do it again. I just don't think it's that likely that it happens that way multiple times. Their deck is sick, though. Putrid Warrior is like such a cool card. I don't really see it get used that often. And aggressive strategies are just very difficult to pull off in this format. I do not want to play first. But I do wish to mulligan first. I will keep this. Put back Frenzied Tilling. Desolation Giant is like, if we're just going to be on the back foot here on the draw, then this seems like a pretty great one to have access to. It's also just a Hill Giant. Okay, you can't. This isn't the real world. Okay. Once, it does happen, but this is a little much. Okay. Sure. I think it's going to be this Charging Troll, because like Wraith's Charm is going to be pretty great versus this board if we can get a Plains. Thornscape Battle Mage is also looking nice. Not the Croc, please. Okay, Coastal Drake is scary. Alright, any land. Any land, we get to do some Thornscape Battle Maging, and we're just like in a nice spot. Okay, this is just a fantasy world. We're just, yeah, just curve 1 through 4 like that. It's just not. It's not real. So now, I mean, we did draw the land, which is really nice. So we want to hit like one more plane, so we could go like pick up or use Friendly Tilling, destroy a land of theirs, pick up the second white, and then we could cast Deso Giant. You got it. All right, we have a plan. Get the planes. All right, now you can commit like a random fatty to the board. That's okay. All right, that draw was the Slay. Just also, like, what am I doing? I shouldn't play that land of the Ravenous Rats deck. But that was pretty good at least. Okay. Also didn't know that card was fixed. Let me just cast this now. No need to get hurt by counter magic. All right. I missed a tap. Not really the end of the world. I will offer this trade. Tense game still. It's been a great match. Like their deck is very good. Their draw has been absurd. This text keep making it hard to read. But yeah, it's a 3/3, so I can just block that and like we're fine. More spells? Okay. So I think I'm getting in there with the Kavu, because I have to kill them. And I think, yeah, I just gotta take the damage, slam the Collective Restraint, and tap both of their creatures. They can attack me for 1. I guess I lose to a protection spell right now. More spells? Come on. Please. A 6-drop? Oh my god. Like, we're not losing. We're okay. It's just this is just unreal. This is just like the greatest draws I've ever seen from a Magic the Gathering deck. Sure. Well, Diversionary Tactics is doing a lot of work here. They don't have red mana, so like these attacks are not good for them. But they can... What's in their deck? I don't understand. So we are at least like limiting them to 2 attackers. And our best blockers are still like the Desolation Giant and the Stone Kavu. So we're still just like locking down the biggest things. Maybe I should do this the other way where I leave the giant tapped instead of like having to block here, but because blocking with the Stega Disciple, yeah, that's not, I should not be doing it this way. I should be leaving a Sapperling back here. Okay, this attack is not legal. Okay, so this is nice here. I'm just playing the land because we know they're a Rats deck. I'm playing the Standard Bearer. And I am going to attack in the air. Because I can still... They're still only attacking with 2 creatures, right? Because they're on 7 mana, so even if they draw a land, they can't get to 9. So they're attacking with 2 creatures, and then I've got Stone Kavu plus Chump Block. Although it's no longer even a... Are you kidding me? This is absurd. It just... Wow. I guess I don't actually need to... They can only attack with 1 thing, and if they do, I just eat it with the Stone Kavu, so I don't need to do anything, but just, I can't... I'm dead. Like, I just can't... They are approaching the requisite mana. Okay, that's nice. So that actually sets them back quite a way. So I guess we can start going back to this Aurora Griffin. So we're still just like tapping down 2 flyers and attacking. Oh, this game. It's actually really bad. Shocker, my opponent has drawn yet another banger. Yeah. Because now they can turn off my domain and set it back to 3 land types. And then attack with 3 creatures. I still do have 3 blockers in this configuration, but... I just have to be attacking here to get in damage. I don't believe this land matters, so I'm just gonna hold it to confuse or do something. I don't know. Oh. I can also be like bouncing this Cavern Harpy to complicate things. It's just... This is unreal. Absolutely unreal. Okay, that's helpful. Oh my god. So we still have all of our pump action on the Stone Kavu here. Okay, just more material in play is good. I think I can take the 1 from this Stormscape Familiar. And the rocket... Nope, this is bad. 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 I think we'll be okay. Because they're missing the Reef Shaman play right now. But because of the Rocket Disciple, I can get flying to Stone Kavu. And I just don't need to... do anything else. That's just good enough right there. And I have these standard bearers in play, so like if they, I think I'm okay to let them go to attacks. There, no, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. It likely doesn't matter, but like I shouldn't have done that. I think we still have the win here. This is a 3/3. Yes, I'm going to block it with my 3/5. They gain 3, but I just go to my turn. They have nothing. I'm going to give Stone Kavu flying, and I'm going to just kill them. We did it. Oh my god. What an insane game. Their deck is so good. It's so good, and they just don't draw lands that often. That's so many flyers, though. Oh my god. We're not going to win this match. Not just on time, just like, their deck is so good, I don't think we have it in us. I guess maybe Pledge of Loyalty is a way to like steal a game here. No, but it's permanent side control, and they've got black and blue stuff that it just literally doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't know. This 3/1 seems like pretty okay. Versus them. Yeah, I'll just ship it at 41. I don't know. I mean, yeah, this is about as good as we can get, honestly. No 1-drop? No 1-drop, you say? Okay. Alright, but they do have a 2-drop. Ooh, so do we. Forest would be such a sick draw here, too. Because then we could just go Grappler into hold up activation and then curve into Thornscape Battle Mage, as opposed to like right now tapping out for the cameo is like probably the right thing to do, but gosh. Yeah, just play this. Who do I target with this? For the next X damage that we dealt to target creature this turn. Okay, so I need to block and then target it. Good to know. Sure. Got a artifact or something for me to eat? I've seen a good portion of their deck now. I don't believe they have artifacts in that manner, but that's a good Defiling Tears right there. They've had like 2 excellent uses of that card. Yeah, Plains. Got another one in there, or the Cavern Harpy. Yep, there it is. This is just pay 1 life to return it. Yeah, so I can't target it. Or I can, it just... Life is not good if I do that. Although it looks like they have 6'd. But... whatever. I know they have a Rats in hand. This Harpy is probably going to be just a little bit too much for me to fight through, though. Yeah, that's also going to be too much. It's a 3-turn clock. I don't believe I have 2 turns here on the ground. Certainly not if they do other things. So I need to draw out of this situation. Yeah, certainly not with the Ravenous Rats that we know about being able to block. Ah. Sure. Coastal Drake also just being the nuts here in terms of bouncing and then killing me in the air. It's just, I don't know. I can play 20 leagues of this format and never draw as good as my opponent has this whole match. Just the perfect like 1 through 4 curves in the first 2 games. And now this, it just die. Fortunately, the living airship is like the only good attack they have, so we're not just like immediately dying, but we're dying. If they were playing more conservatively, like killing the harpy here could be better. Yeah, I think this is better. Like if this were a grindier game, like obviously harpy would be good, but Coastal Drake is also tough on like this board in particular, but don't really have much to do about it. Drawing Aurora Griffin, by the way, was really good. I don't want to like sound too whiny. Like we have drawn pretty good. I guess we do have Deso Giant that we can cast right now. And then yeah, killing Cavern Harpy is probably the better play into that. So that's just what we're looking for right now, is 1 Desolation Giant. That is in fact not Desolation Giant. That's just one of the most insane decks I've ever seen in my life to have work out that well. I can't. Struggle to believe that was real, but that was a sick match for sure. So we'll see you for round number 3. Try to get that 2-1. Okay, round number 3. I do not have a decision to make on who's going first this time, which is great because then I don't have to misclick, because I have done that before in this format. This hand is probably good enough. They're choosing to play first. Interesting. We are like a white source away from, doing anything basically, but the hand's quite powerful if we get there. And is doing some stuff in the meanwhile. Okay, more white spells was probably not what we needed though. There it is. Turn 4 Omnath. That's really good. that's gonna be a problem. Oh boy. Oh, I think I just gotta be mana efficient here. Because I need to get my hand empty. So for this turn, I believe that means just casting Rith's Charm. And putting some pressure on them so that if they want to just play this game of activate Planeswalker, score in every turn, which is a pretty good game to play, then we can Just, not worried about it. Oh, but they don't have the mana. Okay. Not often that Samite Pilgrim gets in there, but here we are. That Plains draw on turn 3 was nuts, though. Okay, yeah, that was a robbery. That was a robbery. I'm sorry, opponent. Rith's Charm being like uniquely good against Planeswalker's scored is pretty funny there. So we saw black and green. Don't really feel like that changes too much. Well, I say that. I really should just... I have enough blue sources. I should be just playing this Living Airship over the Gladenar. The flying's been very relevant with just how effective we are at coming up the board. Like with diversionary tactics and collective restraint, it's just that's probably what we should be doing. Yeah, I will keep this. Again, needs a little bit of help. Plains in particular would be great, but I don't think when we've been put on the draw again, I don't think we can put this back. Okay, so there's your Abzan. Not too worried about a flash spell here. Okay. So 4-color, no red so far. Bog down. Alright, Standard Bearer and Mountain, I think, can leave. Nice. Everything is single cost in the deck, so I should play out the red source because it's more likely we have the Fire Breather, the Stone Kavu. Here, there's no need to get too crazy. That I think we can leave back the Raka Disciple. I will, however, just get this into play. It seems unlikely that they like tap out for a 5-drop that Thornscape Battle Mage is good against. Take them off a color of mana. Get an island. It is important to note that Soul Link is a triggered ability that goes on the stack, so when going for lethal damage, the life gain won't matter. for that time, but until it is that time, we shall not. Yeah, let's just keep it nice and simple. Once again, just have Stone Kavu with flying. Alright, that one was a little bit, that was a little less exciting. But, we take those. That was a good league, though. I felt like we got to demonstrate the power of some of our cards there. Opponent had some mana troubles in these two games, but Planeswalker, Scorn, and Bog Down are certainly fine cards. Soul Link's a little more questionable as a removal spell, but yeah, one of the fastest IPA matches that's ever happened, and I think with like reasonable concessions from my opponent too. So yeah, nice 2-1. Hopefully get to draft some more of this, and hopefully be able to share some more of this with you. So let me know what you think. Always excited to be drafting this format. It's just a good time, even if I was a little peeved at losing in round 2. But I mean, our opponent's deck in round 2 was much better than ours, I believe, and like that we clawed back into game 2 was like kind of wild, and I'm just like really glad to be able to share that. That game, like this deck had some cool things going for it, like collective restraint, diversionary tactics is a cool prison element. Deso Giants is great. Charging Troll didn't really show up much. We had the one time where he just like clobbered with regeneration. That was nice. And yeah, everybody else put in the work. I think we got to cast all of our spells there. The Gladenar didn't show up game 1. That probably should have been Living Airship. That would, I think, just been better for sure. But we make mistakes and we learn from them. So yeah, I'll see you next time. Hopefully, I have another one up of these soon-ish. TM ? All right. Have a good one. Bye bye.